Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Newsbrowse News broadcast. According to GG Press, the World Bank released its latest economic outlook on June 11, lowering its 2026 global real GDP growth forecast to 2.5%, down 0.1 percentage points from its previous forecast in January. This projected growth rate marks the lowest level since the global COVID-19 pandemic. The downgrade is primarily attributed to a sharp rise in crude oil prices driven by the conflict involving the United States, Israel, and Iran. The World Bank warned that persistent high energy prices could drag global growth down to 2.1%, and financial market distress could trigger a sharper drop to 1.3%. To assist citizens and farmers in severely affected developing nations, the World Bank plans to provide $50 billion to $60 billion in support, which could be scaled up to $100 billion if the economic downturn deepens. Regarding country-specific forecasts, Japan's 2026 growth projection was lowered to 0.7% due to energy cost-driven consumption slowdown, while China's outlook was cut to 4.2% amid labor market softening and high debt. The U.S. forecast remains steady at 2.2%, as AI investments are expected to offset conflict-related negatives. According to a report by Liberty Times, thus President Donald Trump announced on June 10 that he ordered a classified U.S. military mission in May to escort oil tankers through the Strait of Hormuz. Following the outbreak of conflict between the U.S., Israel, and Iran in February, Tehran had placed an effective blockade on this critical energy corridor, triggering global market volatility. Under the covert operation, U.S. forces provided vital air cover to facilitate dark transits, where ships turned off their global positioning systems, GPS, to avoid Iranian detection. This military protection successfully assisted more than 100 million barrels of oil in crossing the strait, allowing approximately 15 vessels to enter and exit the waterway daily via routes close to the Omani coast. Analysts point out that this increase in escorted oil shipments has helped stabilize global oil prices, keeping them below $100 per barrel and preventing a severe summer squeeze for global refineries. Nonetheless, shipping operators emphasize that this volume remains significantly lower than pre-conflict levels, which averaged 135 ships per day. Asahi Shimbun reports that China's foreign ministry announced on June 11th its decision to impose sanctions, including a travel ban on Philippine Defense Secretary Gilberto Teodoro and his family. The ministry accused Teodoro of repeatedly making erroneous remarks about China, damaging China's legitimate interests, and harming bilateral relations. Although Beijing did not specify which statements triggered the sanctions, the move follows a series of defense alignments between Manila and its allies. On May 31st, Teodoro met with Japanese Defense Minister Shinjiro Koizumi in Singapore, where they agreed in principle on Japan exporting retired Abukuma-class destroyer escorts to the Philippines. Additionally, on June 10th, the Philippine military reported finding floating barriers deployed by China at the disputed Scarborough Shoal in the South China Sea, drawing a formal protest from Manila. Amazon founder Jeff Bezos spoke exclusively to CNBC about his newly revealed artificial intelligence startup Prometheus, which has successfully raised $12 billion in Series B funding, valuing the company at approximately $41 billion. Launched in late 2024, the stealth startup focuses on AI for the physical economy. Bezos clarified that Prometheus has nothing to do with robotics. Instead, the company's team of 150 employees is developing an artificial general engineer designed to help human engineers create physical objects, speeding up the invention loop. Bezos revealed that he participated in the Series B round and now spends the bulk of his time on Prometheus and AI-related projects across his other ventures, including Amazon and Blue Origin. Addressing broader concerns about artificial intelligence, Bezos dismissed job loss pessimism as misplaced, arguing that AI will significantly boost productivity and raise overall living standards. Regarding government oversight, Bezos advocated for reasonable regulations focused on the application level rather than restricting foundational infrastructure, comparing AI tools to knives that should not be banned simply because they can be misused. According to Al Jazeera, the International Chess Federation, FIDE, has temporarily suspended Russia's membership. This decision follows a ruling by the Court of Arbitration for Sport in March, which upheld a complaint by Ukraine accusing the Russian Chess Federation of illegally usurping control of the game in 5 Ukrainian territories occupied by Russian forces since 2022, including Crimea, Donetsk, Luhansk, Zaporizhzhia, and Kherson. FIDE had given Russia a 90-day deadline to relinquish control over chess bodies in these regions and cease organizing tournaments there. Because Russia failed to comply with the deadline, FIDE enforced the immediate suspension. Despite the suspension, Russian adult players will still be permitted to compete in FIDE tournaments under a neutral flag, while junior players retain the right to compete under the Russian flag. Team eligibility under neutral status remains subject to future decisions. The suspension marks a symbolic blow to a nation with a rich chess heritage and runs counter to a recent global trend in other sports, such as swimming and judo, which have begun easing restrictions on Russian competitors. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.